I cannot believe Swatch did this on their Instagram account. Look at this reel here. Swatch basically compiled videos, footages from social media, from other news outlets into this compilation that shows long queue outside of Swatch store on the launch day. How do you feel about that? So welcome back to the channel. It's been about a week since the official launch of the MoonSwatch, and I just want to talk about it. There was this hype created by Omega a week before Watch and Wonders, where Rolex is gonna steal the show along with Patek Philippe, Tudor and other major watch brands. And Omega Swatch chose the week right before that. I think it was kind of obvious the timing of this event. And they did not inform anyone about it because, I don't know, they just want to create this hype as usual. There are a few common things that people talk about. Number one is that it is not limited edition and it is going to be available online. Now, if anyone has experienced buying like sought after items online, you know that it is not so straightforward. You can't just go on the website, choose the card and then check out and deliver to your house. It doesn't work that way. I've tried buying like Easy Boost, for example, from Adidas. You have to go through this queuing system, and the queuing system can take hours, and with limited numbers as well. You usually don't get it on your first try. You have to try it quite many times, or you have to go through this ballot where they will have selected number of people selected to buy this at every launch. So I know it's going to be difficult, and I'm not just there for the watch. Like, the reason why I joined the queue with my friends is because we all kind of like watches, and we just thought, you know what, it's the last time or maybe like the first time that we actually do something like this. Let's just all go together, not just for the watch, but just have some fun together on our day off, right? No harm with that. So my desire to actually own the watch is actually not that great, but it's really just more for the sake of seeing what this event is going to be and hopefully meet other like-minded individuals there as well. Another thing that people talk about is scalpers or flippers. These are the people that basically buys hard to get items and then sell them in the aftermarket for a much higher price for a quick profit. Well, I want to say this, there are only about 200 watches available. Even if you take out all the scalpers, all the flippers, all the people that are just there for the money, there's actually still more than 200 people that actually want the watch. Like, people do not just go there because they want to make a few $100 off something. There are people there that were wearing serious watches. Like, I saw a Gold Day, I saw a James Cameron Sea Dweller, I saw an Audimas Piguet Chrono Panda over there. Like, these watches are like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, these people are not just there to make a few $100. They are there because they want the watch, they want to join the fun, or maybe, just like me, they want to show appreciation. Now, hear me out. What do I mean by that? In recent years, in the past 2 years especially, luxury watches has gone so much higher in prices. So when Omega announces that they are going to launch the MoonWatch at a lower price point together with Swatch, I'm like, wow, like, thanks for doing this for the fans. Like, I would actually be happy, and in return, like, I would actually show up on your launch day as a sign of appreciation that you guys are doing this. But little do I know, like, I would be used as a pawn on your social media account to show that, wow, I'm just one of the guys that is actually queuing up. I'll give you an analogy. Imagine your friend opens a bakery store and they say that, you know what, we're gonna have a launch day promotion. We're gonna make some special bread for anyone that come on the day. So as a good friend, what you would do is ask as many people as you can to come down to the store, to queue up at the opening and support them all the way through the day. In return, your friend will be in the kitchen mixing as many ingredients as they can to bake as many bread as they can to sell to the public. Imagine after selling 50 pieces or maybe 100 pieces of bread, they don't tell you that they're not making anymore. They just keep you in the queue. They just busy go around and take videos of it, and then 5 hours later they tell you, all right guys, we are sold out for the day, thanks for waiting, goodbye. And 2 days later, you go on their Instagram, you saw this video of you outside the store queuing up, and they say, all right, thanks for the amazing response. We look forward to seeing you again next time, where we can bring you out more fresh bakery. I don't know about you, but I will be like, you know what, forget it, I'm not coming back here anymore. Instead of doing what you need to do, you are out here flexing. And now that I've read a few reviews from people who actually own the watch, I think this watch is actually quite poor in quality. We have seen this blue color pigmentation on somebody's arm after wearing the watch for a day. And I also seen the Velcro tape, like especially the whiter color ones, they get dirty quite easily. And the worst is, I actually know some people will bought it off reseller for their kids. Yes, the kids were about 5-6 years old and they're all rocking a MoonSwatch. The Neptune one, Uranus, the pink one. Oh my god. I don't know if I want to wear this watch anymore. Like, I'm not sure if I want to be seen in public with this MoonSwatch anymore, because people's gonna laugh at you for queuing up or buying them off reseller for a much higher price. Like, there's just no good story to tell on why you have a MoonSwatch. So I will tell you the personal story of what I tried to do to obtain this MoonSwatch. So at 12 o'clock at night, I actually went to Marina Bay Sands, and I was told by the security that no queuing is allowed. And I also saw a sign right outside of the Swatch store that says no overnight queuing, sale starts at 11 a.m, which is the official opening time of the store. Like most people, you will say that, okay, since you can't queue at night, I'll come back in the morning at 11 o'clock, since that's when the sale starts. But no, we take some precaution, and my friends and I say, okay, let's meet at 6 o'clock, just go there, we're happy to wait, let's see what happens. The Facebook updates around 8 in the morning that says, okay, thanks for the overwhelming support. Although 2 persons is allowed to buy the watch now, we are going to change to 1. At the same time, we have news from Melbourne and Sydney that they actually have only about 150 pieces in store. I was like, wow, is this real? Like, there's at least 1,000 people in the queue now, and you're saying that only 150 pieces available? But never mind, we just stay there because we have no idea what's going on. And then come about 10 o'clock, the staff from Swatch store came out to tell us that, you know what guys, this queue is not recognized because there are people forming up right outside of the Swatch store, and there is a queue that they have to recognize because it is right outside of the store. Of course, we were very disappointed. We were like, your security told us a queue here, and then now you say that this is not recognized anymore? Like, what logic is this? Well, nonetheless, we say, you know what, forget it, we're just gonna go right outside of the store and take a look at the situation. True enough, there was no proper queue. It was a mess outside of the Swatch store. They had to cordon off the area. At 11 o'clock, they don't even dare to open the store. The staff were just there, but the lights are still off. There were security, and there were even armed policemen standing by. Crazy. And in the middle of the pandemic, when COVID is still quite rampant, I can't believe this is happening. Personally, I already had it, so I know I'm kind of immune for like 3 months, so I'm fine. But still, like, it's kind of like an irresponsible event. And I'm very surprised that Swatch wasn't fined by the management of the mall or by the government. Because if you remember, a couple of months ago, there was a launch event at Foot Lockers, and Foot Lockers was asked to shut down for 10 days for failing to organize the launch event properly. Right, moving on to my last point. Is this event going to help Omega in the long run? Well, the reason why I wanted a MoonSwatch was because I never had a Swatch growing up. I think it depends on where you're coming from. Like, I just had a very strict Asian parents, and buying a Swatch is always like a luxury, like something unnecessary. So I never really had any nice watches growing up. No Casio, no Swatch, no Tag Heuer, no Omegas. And I finally thought that, wow, you know what, there's actually a Swatch that I really like now, so I could actually buy, but now that's gone. Another thing that I hear is that Omega is doing this to get people into the MoonWatch, and hopefully when they're older or when they have more excess money to spend, they are going to splurge on Omega. I actually think that Omega should have done this the other way around. They should have offered this watch to the Omega clients first, the Omega boutique VIPs. This is what my friend told me actually. This way, they actually incentivize people to buy watches from Omega boutique. But they missed that boat already. Terrible, terrible idea. Is this going to get people into Omega watch in the long run? I don't think so. Because the build quality of this MoonSwatch is actually quite poor. And Omega is always like, you know, the second figure now. I used to love Omega. I was very into Omega. I love the Seamaster, the Speedmaster. I even love some of their funkier watches. But after this whole event, which leaves such a bad taste in my mouth, I would say that I would not buy an Omega unless one day I can no longer afford a Rolex.